how to be rich. 3 proven methods. Hi, my name is Eric Lanchas, and today we're going to talk about the good stuff. How to be rich, wealthy, successful, all the things that we crave. And before we start, I know what you're thinking. I'm not selling you a single thing on this video. I'm not creating this for any monetary benefit. In fact, I just want to give back. The reason I want to give back and tell you how to become rich is because I've had the good fortune of being surrounded by so many people who have gotten rich, entrepreneurs who have gone from rags to riches, who have gone through a journey. I've even had the good fortune of being able to help some of these people go from being poor to rich, and I've also seen a lot of struggles. So when you're surrounded by thousands of people that go through journeys like this, you don't need to be a genius to start to see patterns, see things that work and things that don't work. And that's what I want to share with you today. I've broken it down into 3 paths that I've seen thousands of people take to become rich, wealthy, successful. And you know what? I just want to get this off my chest and share it with as many people as possible. Hopefully it'll help you. So specifically what we're going to be talking about is I'm going to share the characteristics of a successful person. I'm also going to be talking about the 3 paths to becoming incredibly rich and successful. And I'm also going to share with you the quickest path that you want to take to go where you want to go. So if you're excited, let's jump right into it. First, I want to define rich and successful. Now, it could be $10,000 a month, $100,000 a month, $100,000 a month, $1 million a month. The definition doesn't really matter. Whatever you consider rich and successful, that will be enough for this video. If ever you want to dive into what is true wealth, that's a whole different topic. But right now, let's go with about $100,000 a month. That'll be a nice solid gain right there. All right. So there are 3 paths to success. However, before I dive into it, I want to give you an opportunity to click off to a cute cat video. Now, if you want, click right up there. I've scoured the internet. This is the cutest cat video I have ever found. It's adorable. If you click on it, you're going to absolutely love it. And if you want, just go and watch this cat video. All right. You still here? Well, congratulations. Now, why did I do this? If you're still here, you've passed the first test. Because nothing else I would have said would have mattered anyways. The first thing to becoming successful is to be able to delay gratification in order to attain your pursue your true objective. See, if you can't even delay clicking on a cute cat video in order to learn the secret to success, nothing I could have said would have mattered anyways, because you won't be able to implement it. You'll get distracted really quickly. See, one of the key things in order to becoming rich and successful is to stay focused on your goal. Now, that means you need to figure out your goal and then stay focused on it. Now, the biggest problem that I see people encounter when they're trying to get a goal and stay focused on this is they feel they have to sacrifice. And sacrifice isn't true. When you're an entrepreneur, when you're going after your goal, you don't think of it as sacrifice at all. I didn't sacrifice watching funny videos. I just did the thing I care more about. And therefore, when you're defining your goal, you have to define a goal that you really, really care about. If you care about making $10,000 a month, that needs to be your goal. You need to be fully invested in that. And that needs to be more appealing than watching some cute cat video. That really is number 1. See, a lot of people confuse sacrifice with delayed gratification. You need delayed gratification, but you don't need sacrifice. For example, if you're baking cookies, when you're baking cookies, you could eat all the cookie dough right away, and then you'll end up with no cookies, right? Or you could use delayed gratification and wait until the cookies are golden brown after they've been in the oven for a little while, and now they're soft and delicious. That is delayed gratification, and it is not sacrifice. So you're not sacrificing not eating cookie dough. If you stay focused on your end objective, you will go through the entire process and end up with what you want, which is delicious cookies. So basically what I want to convey is, first, you need to be focused on your goal. You need to know what your goal is, stay focused on it. And then after that, delayed gratification. Do everything that you need to get to your goal and forget all the rest. That really is the simplest way of thinking about it. So set an objective. You have to really care about it. And after that, I care more about completing my goal than anything else in the world. So for instance, right now I'm working on a new product, and I care more about completing my new product than anything else because I'm focused on achieving my next financial goal. So I won't go out at night I'll skip playing a game or whatever, because nothing else matters. So it doesn't really feel like I'm sacrificing going out at night. I'm just so focused on what I want to achieve that I just stay in and I work on that. So basically, blinders on, nothing else matters, go your goal. And then when you do that, you're not feeling like you're sacrificing anything. Really, I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You're just feeling like you're getting closer and closer and closer and closer to your goal, and it feels good on the way there. Sometimes it's a little tough, sometimes you'll sweat a bit, but it's good on the way there. All right, so here are the 3 true paths to success. Now, when I'm going to be covering these paths, I'm not going to cover the end result. So you're not going to see like how the person looks at the end, but rather the path to get there. Eventually, most paths converge at some point, and you'll see what I mean in a second. So, to be successful, there are 3 paths. Number 1 is you could be extremely popular, and number 2 is going to be you could be the best at what you do. So, if we have kind of a graph here, you could either be extremely popular, tons of people have a huge reach, an audience, or you could have an absolutely amazing product or be the best at what you do. So you want to be either in one of the extreme or the other. What happens, and this is where most people struggle, and I don't think anyone teaches this, is that most people kind of end up in the average section where they're pretty good and they have and they're slightly popular. So when you're slightly popular and you're pretty good, this is the danger zone, and this is the kind of like the pit. If I could have like a little pit here where people are struggling, this is the struggle area. And when you're at the top here or the top here, these are just the success areas. So I've been on both sides, and I'm going to tell you right now, there's no better path. I've been on the popular side, I've been on the best product side, and they're both good. There's not one right or one wrong. However, if you're in the middle and you're an average at everything, that's where things get really tough. So, popularity. Popularity is essentially having a giant audience. Imagine you have an Instagram following with 1 million people, or a website that gets 1 million visitors, a name, or you have a name that everyone recognizes. I've been on the side where I had a website that was getting tons and tons and tons and tons of traffic, and that was the popular area. That was essentially the reach. Now, what happens is let's say you have a YouTube channel with 10 million subscribers, you don't even need your own product. You just promote other people's stuff and you'll make a ton of money. Or you could have a mediocre product, like a lot of YouTube channels with like millions of subscribers, they have crappy merchandise. They have just their merchandise. Everyone buys it, even though it's not well made and it just doesn't even look nice. You could have a mediocre product and you'll still make a ton of money and sell a lot if you have a giant following, if you are very, very popular. Okay, conversely, if you are the best in your industry, you could also be very successful even if you aren't super popular. How does that work? Well, for instance, if you're 7 feet tall and you're the best basketball player in the world, being the best, it doesn't matter if you have social skills. It doesn't matter if you're really popular in school. You're going to be in very high demand. There are people going to pick you up, and you could be extremely successful in that. So really the 2 extremes. But imagine this. Imagine you're right in the middle, and you are an average height person who's okay at basketball, and some of your friends like you. Like you're not going to be successful at all. Like you're going to struggle. So essentially, we got popularity, and this is quality. So popularity, when I'm talking about this, like let's say you have a channel of 1 million plus subscribers, 1 million plus, Instagram with 1 million plus, 1 million plus visitors to your website. Maybe you own a television network with 30 million subscribers. That would be the popularity and audience reach. Record labels and agencies, they land into popularity because they have a huge reach. So when artists sign up with them, they could expose them to a wide audience. Or if you're in internet marketing, having an email list, let's say you have 1 million people on your email list, you essentially have a giant reach that you could tap into as well at will. Quality, what I'm talking about that when I get in that section, is when you're recognized as being the best. So let's say you have a Michelin star chef, so you've gotten awards and you are recognized as being one of the best chefs in the world. Or if you have a product, if you are the most effective drug for X treatment, for whatever treatment, and you're the most effective one, people will pay a ton of money to get that drug, that treatment. It doesn't matter if you have good marketing or not, even though usually they both have. But if you're the most talented musician or singer, usually what's going to happen is you're going to be paired up with a good record label. See, but first you need to become, and you need to have the talent and the raw music, singing, producing, or if you're an artist and so forth. You have best product in whatever industry, or you could be the best athlete in X sport. So wherever you land, you either want to be in the popular area or you want to be in the quality area. So the paths, when you're extremely popular, what you want to do and what's going to happen is you're going to end up working with very high quality products. Now, what's going to happen naturally is when you're extremely popular, you're going to get tons of average products coming to you each and every single day. Everyone who's kind of in the middle is going to want to go work with the hugely popular person, right? So that is what happens. Your job as the hugely popular person, either you have a record label or you have a giant website, you have a huge email list or a following or YouTube channel, whatever. What you want to do is you want to avoid all the average people and find the best product and kind of work with them. So when you are super popular, you get to work with the best. And that creates a beautiful wedding that allows both of you to be super successful. So the popular ones will have talent scouts at sporting events. That's why they're sending talent scouts to high schools and so forth to find the top athletes. They'll have scouts for models who are looking for the most beautiful and interesting women in the world. They have talent shows all over the world, like Britain's Got Talent, American Idol, all that. They're basically looking for talent because they have the audience, they have the reach, they have the platform, and now they need that raw talent. So it's that kind of like merging and wedding together. So the people with the wide audience reach will seek the best. Now, you can imagine how it works for the best. Now, when you are the best, what do? How do you get discovered and all that? Well, what you need to do is you need to either, if you're the best, you need to prove it via competition or case studies. Either you have a lot of people backing up what you say, that works, or you've proved it in competition, or you've done a study on it, or so forth. Sometimes you have white papers for certain treatments. You have medical studies, basically studies that prove what you're saying or prove that you're the best. When you are the best, what happens is you stand out. First of all, people will go miles further to get the best product. They'll seek it out. They'll be on waiting lists. That is really the best place to be. And when you stand out, you're going to be in a position to work with your popular counterpart. Essentially, what ends up happening is then you combine both forces where you get super popular people and you have the best product and you both become insanely successful at this little area where you have popularity and quality. That is going to be the two paths to becoming incredibly successful. Unfortunately, most people don't do this and they end up being average at both. When you are average, this is when I see people struggle when they have, because they have an incredible time, like hard time reaching a wide audience. It's very expensive. You can advertise and it's very time consuming, expensive in every single way that you could think of when you are average. Also, people won't go out of their way to get to you. They might buy your product or go with you if they have no other option. However, you won't get the diehard fans or you won't get the diehard customers that'll stick with you and be with you. They're going to go for the best product if they can. So being average is really hard. Being average is essentially having like a small little tiny YouTube channel, 500 Instagram followers, maybe a few visitors to your website, having a handful of local folks know your name, but no big area. Essentially, you don't have a wide enough audience to get the best working with you, and you can't sell enough to make ends meet. Quality, in terms of being average, is essentially if you're an unknown chef, if you have a generic supplement, maybe you're a local band, maybe you're an average product. When you have that, people won't be loyal to you and they won't follow you to the end of the world. They'll buy your stuff if you're super convenient and you just happen to be at the right place at the right time. However, that will never lead you to true wealth and success. This is the hard mode of basically life. So you want to avoid being average if at all possible. However, there is a third way, and there's one that breaks both rules. Now, this third way is not necessarily better or easier, and sometimes it doesn't even last that long. However, I did want to present to you because there is an exception with all paths. There's an exception. So here's the third way. The third way is riding a trend. If you get the timing right and you start at the beginning of a trend, sometimes you could be average and be successful while still being average. So what do I mean by that? Well, if you're right over here and you start off and you start riding a trend. Let's say you were one of the first people on YouTube. You could have built up a sizable subscriber base as YouTube exploded in popularity. Going from here, YouTube was just increasing. Just by being there, you could have rode the trend. The next thing is, if you were an Instagram active on Instagram when Instagram was blowing up, you would have naturally built up a huge audience because there was a lot less choice back in the day. Same thing if you're selling acai berries at the right time. When everyone was freaking out about those berries, if you started selling them, you could be incredibly successful, not because you're good at marketing, not because you have an amazing website, just because there's so much demand and you're riding the trend. Same thing if you're, let's say, a dubstep artist and you start at the right time. Let's say you're a dubstep artist and you're mediocre, but everyone's craving it. You could still be successful and build a name. That is how you could be average and still be successful. Now, none of those ways are better. And in fact, I would encourage you to either go the popularity route or the best route. However, riding a trend also works. So there's no better path. And ultimately, they all lead to the same place. Ultimately, you'll all end up at being popular and also having quality if you're going to be truly successful. However, on your journey there, make sure you don't get stuck in the middle or you're going to struggle quite a bit. If you are in the middle right now, take the closest path. If you're a little popular, go full out on popularity. If you're pretty good at something or you're close to quality, then go for excellent. Be the best and have the highest quality product, or be the best performing that you could possibly do. Or if you're really lost in the middle and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do, you might want to restart all over and catch a trend. So that's it for today. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you have any questions, comments, leave them down below. Like and subscribe to this video for more. My name is Eric Lantris. My website is My Traffic Research, and I will talk to you soon. Take care, guys.